Hey, thanks for joining me today. If you're new here, subscribe to my channel so you can see what we do here on our small homestead. And if you're already a subscriber, thanks for joining in again. Today I want to share with you some tips I use to keep my plants healthy. And one of the things I'm going to do right now, I was doing already with my son, is we were finding caterpillars. Yes, there's going to be caterpillars. Definitely now that it's getting hotter, I go through my plants pretty regularly and pick out the caterpillars and feed them to my chickens. I actually really enjoy doing this. I'm not gonna lie, it's quite fun and relaxing. And I can see one right now, right here. There's that little caterpillar right there. Now, they will leave you little clues as to where they are because you'll see the poo. And I've already actually grabbed about 3 or 4 caterpillars from here to feed to our chickens. But if you spot poo, you know that they're not too far. And obviously, where they're eating the leaves is where the caterpillars are as well. Is another one. I go through the garden several times a day when I'm home, when I feel like it. I don't just do it constantly all the time, but I enjoy going through, and wow, there's just so many cabbage moth caterpillars at the moment. It's ridiculous. But I go through and I just grab the caterpillars that I can find and just feed them to my chicken, and it's something my son really loves to do. So we just do it together, and it's quite relaxing, to be honest. I love getting out here, going through the garden and getting these big fat caterpillars for my chickens, and they lay bigger eggs for me, so it's like a win-win. Something else I do to keep our plants healthy is we make our own fertilizers. And one of the fertilizers I make is with banana peels. My kids go through a lot of bananas, so we save these skins, and I'm just going to the shed because that's where I have it. But we save the skins. I just put it with some filtered water, so I'll fill up a container with water, let it ferment for several days, like 3 days. It doesn't matter if it goes a bit over, it will get kind of bubbly. And then I will use that liquid and I will pour it straight onto my plants. All right, so I have a big jar that I saved that used to be rice bran oil. This is rainwater that I'm putting in here, and we're just shoving the bananas right in. The banana peel is really high in your calcium, in your potassium, in your magnesium, which all really help get good root growth. It helps the stem to grow really strong as well. And the calcium will help your plants take up a lot of the nitrogen. So plus this probably has lots of other little beneficial nutrients in it as well. Really easy to do, a great way to not waste food. Just another way of using it and utilizing it in your garden. And I'll just kind of put a few more in there, and like I said, I'll let it ferment anywhere for 3 to 5 days. You can put it straight onto your plants, no worries. Only reason why I dilute it is just so I can kind of put it over more plants, so more plants are getting the nutrients. As I only have 4 liters of liquid in here, but it's really, really easy to do. Another thing we do that's really easy and anyone can do is we do weed compost. So we do the weed tea. So it's just right here. We have a big container, as you can see there. And there's one my husband threw some manure. And whenever we go and we pick weeds and things and grass clippings, we throw it in there, and we have our rainwater, which we just fill it up with. And we just let that sit. We just continuously throw more weeds into that. And then I'll just dilute it down. So I'll get my watering container, and I'll probably fill it up about 1/3 of the way, even 1/4 to 1/3 of the way. And the rest I'll fill it up with filtered rainwater. And I'll put that over my plants, and they're getting a lot of good nutrients that way and a lot of nitrogen that way. And that's just another real easy way of having healthy plants. I try to give them some sort of fertilizer once a week, whether it's my calcium banana peel one or whether it's the weed tea one. And sometimes I'm able to get wormweed, we don't have worms, but from the community garden that I go to, they have wormweed. So that they collect, and they let me take some every so often. So I try to give them that as well and just change it up a bit with what we are feeding our plants. If you want healthy plants, you need to have healthy soil. That's super important. Not only do I feed our plants a fertilizer every so often, I also want to try and make sure the soil is as healthy as possible. So we use things like our chicken manure. We will compost that down with the hay and let it break down. We will use cow manure, whatever manure we're able to get our hands out, and let it compost and break down and replenish our garden beds that way, so it's constantly getting fed. And then we also top that up with hay or mulch on the very top, which will slowly break down and help keep the nutrients in there as well. If you know you have healthy soil, if you can find lots of earthworms in it. So actually, let's have a little bit of a look now. Right there. There's several. Oh, I don't know if you can see them. Look, the little earthworms. Let me see. I'll grab one of them. Yeah, so that's how you know. Oh, here's another one. One sec. We love them. Oh, there's quite a few. Oh, that one's really jiggly. There's a few earthworms. That's really great. So we want this to all break down. We want lots of worms in our garden beds. So we'll cover that back up because they don't like the sun. All right, so I'm going to be replenishing these garden beds soon as I've been harvesting a lot of things out of them. So it's starting to get a little bare in certain spots, and I'm going to be getting rid of a few other things. I'm getting ready for next season's crops. I'm so excited for it. Can't wait to plant certain things into this garden. So I'll do another video sharing that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Just sharing some tips on how to have a really healthy, beautiful, productive garden. Making sure you keep up on top of pests, number 1. Those things will destroy your crops. Making sure you fertilize your plants, number 2. Having good, healthy soil and mulching whenever you can. I find that the thinner mulch is a lot better than your thick mulch, as it will choke out your plants. If you have really thick stuff, your little seedlings won't really be able to grow well. Trial and error. Or I like using hay as well. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys again soon.